Hello friends, a very good morning to all the students present. Am I audible to all the students? Okay, thank you for your answers. So friends, if you remember in the last lecture, I had given you one of the numerical for your practice of the chapter internal combustion engines. So let us first discuss that numerical. So the numerical states that the following data is available for a single cylinder, two-stroke diesel engine. The bore is equal to 10 centimeter, stroke is equal to 15 centimeter. The engine speed is equal to 1000 rpm. Torque developed is equal to 58 Newton meter. Mechanical efficiency is equal to 80%. Indicated thermal efficiency is 40%. Calorific value of the fuel, that is 44,000 kilojoule per kg. Find the indicated power, the mean effective pressure, and the brake specific fuel consumption. So dear students, let me know the answers from your side. What answers you have calculated for the asked parameters? Kindly share me your answers in the chat box. Okay, so some students have responded me the answers in the chat box. They are the correct answers. Okay, fine. What about the other students? I want the answers from all the students in the chat box. All the students are requested to share their calculated answers in the chat box for the verification. Okay, fine. So observing the answers, majority of the students are getting the correct answers. So now let me show you my answers which I have calculated for this numerical. So friends, in the calculations, the first parameter we were asked to calculate, that was the indicated power. So indicated power using the standard relation PMILAN, or we are given the torque. So first we need to calculate the brake power on the basis of the torque. Then we are given the mechanical efficiency. So from the mechanical efficiency and the brake power, we will be getting the answer of indicated power. Then using the standard equation of the indicated power, that is PMILAN into number of cylinders divided by 60. It is the single cylinder engine and two-stroke engine. So number of power strokes is equal to the rotations of the crankshaft. So substituting the values in the equation for the indicated power, we will be calculating the mean effective pressure, that is PMI. So the answer comes out to be 387.3 kilopascal. And final answer, brake specific fuel consumption, BSFC, very easy to calculate. BSFC is equal to MF in kg per hour divided by BP in kilowatt. So this is the answer for the MF which we are getting after substituting the values and calculating the terms. So friends, now let me know from your side how many students have got all the three answers correct. How many students have got all the three answers correct? That is the near about the answers. Nearby answers, that is perfectly fine. There is no issue for that. Okay, so some of the students are responding me in the chat box that they are getting almost near the answers. That is perfectly fine. Okay, what about the other students? I want maximum responses in the chat box. Are you getting the same answers, the near about answers? Okay, fine. So thank you all for your responses in the chat box. So friends, with this we are completing the important chapter, that is the internal combustion engines. So now let us proceed further and start one of the new unit, new chapter, that is chapter 10. It deals with the refrigeration and air conditioning. Dear students, this is also a very interesting chapter and one of the important chapters. So kindly focus on the points which I am discussing in my lectures of this chapter so that the concepts are perfectly clear in your minds and in the exams you can score good marks of the questions which are asked from this chapter. So let us start with the discussion. So these are the contents which I am going to cover in this session. Firstly, we will be understanding some of the basic concepts related to the refrigeration. Then we will be understanding the different applications of the refrigeration. Moving further, we will be understanding the concepts about the refrigerants. And finally, we will be understanding the different refrigeration parameters. So friends, the first point, that is the basics of the refrigeration. This is a very good image that clears the concepts of the heat engine, refrigerator, air conditioner as well as the heat pump. Dear students, we have already understood the concepts of the heat engines. So the first image of the heat engine is very easy to understand. The heat engine, it takes the heat from the hot reservoir, that is the source, and transfer it to the cold reservoir. During this heat transfer, the engine produces the mechanical work. Therefore, in the heat engine, at the output, we are getting the mechanical work. Next, moving further, the concept of the refrigerator. In the refrigerator, we are absorbing or we are watching that the concept tells that the refrigerator absorbs the heat from a cold reservoir. The cold reservoir is the space which is contained inside the refrigerator. So from that space, the refrigerator absorbs the heat and hence produces that space at a lower temperature. This heat is then transferred to the another reservoir that can be considered as the hot reservoir. The heat is transferred to the room temperature of the kitchen. We Because generally friends, in majority of the domestic applications, we are using the refrigerators in the kitchens. So this is just for basic understanding. Now friends, we are aware that according to the Clausius statement, it is impossible for an engine operating in a cycle to absorb the heat from a body at lower temperature to a body at higher temperature. Hence, we have understood that whenever we want to transfer the heat energy from the body at lower temperature to the body at higher temperature, always we need to do the work on the system. When the work is done on the system, now this heat transfer is possible from the low cold reservoir or the low temperature body to the hot reservoir or the high temperature body. So friends, if I now compare the heat engine and the refrigerator, can I tell that the refrigerator is the inverse of the heat engine? Understand my statement? Can I tell that the refrigerator is the inverse of the heat engine? I want your comments in the chat box. I want your confirmations. Okay, thank you all, because I will be using this statement in the further discussions. So dear students, now let us proceed further and understand the air conditioner. Though we will be understanding all these concepts of refrigerator and air conditioner in several details in depth, but since we are discussing the basics of refrigeration, I am just highlighting some of the introductory points, some of the basic points. In the air conditioner, as we are observing in the image, again, the work is done on the system. The heat transfer takes place from the cold reservoir to the hot reservoir. The cold reservoir is considered as the room conditions, the comfort conditions, that is, it will be absorbing the inside air and just rejecting the heat or the hot air to the another reservoir, that is the hot reservoir, that can be considered as the outside air. And in case of the air conditioner, we are rejecting the heat to the surrounding atmosphere. Now friends, if we consider the heat pump, so heat pump is again absorbing the heat from the cold reservoir, that is the outside air, and it is transferred to the hot reservoir, that is the inside air. Generally friends, for the air conditioning, there are two applications. Either the cooling of the system or heating of the system. Whenever we need to cool the system, we are using the air conditioner, the concepts of the air conditioner. And whenever we need to heat the room, provide the hot conditions in the room, then we are using the heat pump. So friends, these are some of the basic concepts related to the heat engine, the refrigerator, air conditioner, as well as the heat pump. Have you understood the points which I have discussed in this topic? Dear students, are you getting the concepts which I am discussing? Okay, thank you all for your positive responses. Now friends, let us proceed further and understand the concepts about the refrigeration. So refrigeration is the process in which The heat is continuously removed from a system or space. And since the heat is removed from the system or the space, the system is converted to a lower temperature. And this removed heat is then transferred to the surrounding at a higher temperature. So this is the simplest understanding of refrigeration. In refrigeration, the heat is continuously removed from a system or space at a lower temperature and transfer this heat to the surroundings at a higher temperature. And friends, we have understood the perfect concepts that during this process of transfer of heat from cold body to hot body, we need to supply the external work to the system, and that is according to the second law of thermodynamics, that is according to the Clausius statement of the second law of thermodynamics. So friends, when I discussed the second law of thermodynamics, if you remember my words, I told you that as we are proceeding further in the discussion of basic mechanical engineering, I will show you the practical applications of the second law of thermodynamics. The heat engines, that is the modification of the Kelvin Planck statement, and the refrigerator is the modification of the Clausius statement. So friends, I hope now you are understanding it much better, the second law of thermodynamics. Dear students, are you remembering my previous topics, my discussion related to the second law of thermodynamics? In simple, the refrigeration means the cooling or the removal of the heat from the system. Remember friends, the refrigeration concept can be explained by two different methods. If I tell that I have cooled the system, then also it is the refrigeration. And if I tell that I have removed the heat from the system, then also it is known as the refrigeration. So in simple, the refrigeration means the cooling or the removal of the heat from the system. Now, to be more technically specific, I am giving you the definition of refrigeration which is mentioned in your textbook. So, refrigeration is defined as the method of reducing the temperature of a system below the surrounding temperature and maintaining it at the lower temperature by continuously extracting the heat from it. That means during the refrigeration process, it will be reducing the temperature of the system with respect to the surrounding temperatures, and finally maintaining it at the lower temperature by continuously extracting or removing the heat from the system. The application of the refrigeration process, that is the development of the mechanical system which is known as the refrigerator. Refrigerator is a machine which produces the cool environment within the required space. I hope friends at all our homes we are using the refrigerator. And if you observe the refrigerator with the engineering mindset, then you will understand that in the refrigerator, the cool environment, the cold conditions are only developed within the boundaries of the refrigerator. The cool conditions, the cool environments are only produced inside the refrigerator. Dear students, are you understanding this point? Because I am shifting over to some practical discussions related to the topic. Have you observed this point practically, that within the refrigerator only there is the cool environment? I want your responses in the chat box. Okay, thank you all. So now let us move further. Now friends, let us understand some of the applications of the refrigeration process. So the first application, that is in the storage and the transportation of the foodstuffs. That can be either the fruits, the vegetables, the milk, the fishing, etc. So friends, if you have observed in some of the automobiles, it is mentioned that it is a refrigerated van or a refrigerated automobile. That means within that particular container, the temperature is reduced in order to store the foodstuffs and also for the transportation of the foodstuffs. Next application, that is in the preservation of different medicines and syrups. If you observe, it is very necessary to store some of the medicines, some of the syrups at the lower temperature, so that the environmental effects does not harm the composition of the medicines and the syrups. That's why the refrigeration is used for the preservation of some of the medicines and the syrups. The next application, that is in the manufacturing of ice, that is the dry ice, which is available in the market, commercially available, that is dry ice. Also the refrigeration is used for the development of the photographic films, the rubber products, several textiles, etc. The next application of refrigeration, that is in the processing of the different petroleum as well as the chemical products. The next application, that is in the liquefaction of the gases like N2, O2, etc. For liquefying the gases such as the nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, we are using the concepts of the refrigeration for the particular applications. Like next application is very easy to understand, for cooling of the water. Now as the summer will be proceeding, we all will be drinking the cool water. So for cooling the water, the refrigeration plays an important role. And finally, the last point, that is the comfort air conditioning, which is used in the hospitals, the malls, the theaters, the auditoriums, as well as in our domestic applications for our rooms. We are using the concepts of the air conditioners, and the refrigeration is one of the applications for producing the comfort air conditioning. Now friends, in addition to these applications, if you are knowing any other application, then your answers are welcomed in the chat box. If you are aware of any other application of refrigeration which you have observed or heard about, then you can share your comments in the chat box. Okay, one of the answer I have got, that is in the cold storage. Very good answer. That is in the application of refrigeration for the storage and for the preservation. For the frozen food, okay, that is also a very good answer. That can be correlated with the first point, storage and preservation. For keeping the dead bodies, very good answer. In chemical labs for storing some of the chemicals. Fine. So I am getting some of the good varied applications of the refrigeration. Okay, fine. For making the artificial snow, that is also one of the good answer. We are using the refrigeration. Liquefaction process, already I have discussed. I have mentioned that point. Okay, friends, so I am happy to observe your different answers. You are aware about some of the practical applications of the refrigeration. It is very good from your side. I am totally impressed by your practical answers. Let us now proceed further and understand the concepts about the refrigerants. Dear friends, if you remember, in the heat engine, we were using the working fluid or the working substance for the transfer of the heat. In the refrigeration, in the refrigerator, we will be using the refrigerants for the transfer of heat. So a refrigerant is a substance used for the heat transfer in the refrigeration system. Because friends, previously only we have understood perfectly that the refrigerator is the inverse of the heat engine. Therefore, for the transfer of the heat energy, we require a working medium. And in context of the refrigeration system, the working medium is known as the refrigerants. The refrigerants picks up the heat by evaporation process at low temperature and pressure conditions. And friends, it releases this heat by condensation at a higher temperature and pressure conditions. So basically during the cycle of the refrigeration system, the refrigerant continuously undergoes the process of evaporation and condensation. During the evaporation, it will absorb the heat at low temperature, low pressure conditions, and during the condensation, it will reject the heat at higher temperature and pressure conditions. As we are proceeding further in this chapter, you will be better understanding the concepts of the refrigerants. In simple terms, the refrigerant is a heat carrying medium which absorbs the heat from the space desired to be cooled and rejects the heat to the outside of the refrigerator, that is in the atmosphere. Repeating the point once again, the refrigerant is a heat carrying medium which absorbs the heat from the space that is desired to be cooled and finally rejects the heat to the outside of the refrigerator, that is in the atmosphere. Let us now proceed further and understand some of the properties of a good refrigerant. A good refrigerant should have the high latent heat of evaporation and low specific volume. Latent heat is that type of heat which is responsible for the phase change. Also, a good refrigerant should have the maximum thermal conductivity in order to justify the rapid heat transfer. It should be non-corrosive, non-flammable and non-toxic because the refrigerant will be flowing through the pipes. So it should be non-toxic, non-flammable as well as non-corrosive. It should have low specific heat in the liquid state and high specific heat in the vapor state. Very important property of a good refrigerant. Also, it should have low saturation pressure. It should be having high values of coefficient of performance, COP. What is a COP? I will be discussing in this session. And finally, it should be economical in initial as well as the maintenance cost. So friends, these are the different properties of a good refrigerant. Let us proceed further and now understand some practically used refrigerants. First is ammonia. So it is highly toxic, flammable and having the good thermal properties. Ammonia is used as a refrigerant in large industrial as well as the commercial refrigeration systems. Next is the carbon dioxide, that is CO2. It is colorless, non-toxic, non-flammable as well as non-corrosive. Carbon dioxide is used as a refrigerant in the marine refrigeration systems. Next practically used refrigerant, that is the air, atmospheric air. So it is easily available without any cost. It is considered as a completely safe refrigerant. And generally air is used in the aircraft applications for the air conditioning. Next type of the refrigerants are R11. R11, that is the technical nomenclature name or the number of a specified refrigerant. R11 is also known as Freon 11. It is non-toxic, non-flammable and non-corrosive. R11 is used in the small office buildings and the factories. Next type, that is R12, also known as Freon 12. It is non-explosive, non-toxic, non-flammable as well as non-corrosive. And friends, R12, Freon 12 is used in the domestic vapor compression refrigeration system. R22, that is Freon 22, it requires the less compressor displacement. It is non-explosive, non-toxic as well as non-flammable. R22 is commonly used in the commercial and industrial low pressure applications. The another names of the R11, R22, R12, they are given in your textbook, the chemical names, so you can better understand. And friends, let me inform you, all these three refrigerants having the R are the chlorofluorocarbons, that is CFCs. And these chlorofluorocarbons with the maximum use, they are resulting into the ozone depletion. And also they are creating the global warming. Dear students, have you heard these terms previously? The ozone depletion and the global warming. Have you heard these terms previously? Global warming, ozone depletion, because they are the very important terms which we need to understand in terms of our ecological balance. So these are the chlorofluorocarbons, hence now majority of the research work is taking place in order to justify, in order to reduce the effects of such chlorofluorocarbons. Moving further, now let us understand the different refrigeration parameters. Dear students, have you understood up till this point the concept about the refrigeration and the concepts about the refrigerants which I have discussed? Are you understanding the concepts? Dear students, are you understanding the points which I am discussing? Okay, fine, thank you. Now let us proceed further and understand the different refrigeration parameters. So the first and the simplest one, that is the refrigeration effect. The refrigeration effect is the amount of heat absorbed by the refrigerant from the space to be cooled. The quantity of the heat energy which is absorbed by the refrigerant from the space to be cooled, that amount of heat is known as the refrigeration effect. So friends, for the better performance of the refrigeration system, The value of refrigeration effect must be kept higher or lower. Very technical question I am asking. For the better performance of refrigeration system, the refrigeration effect should be increased or decreased. What are your comments? Just think over the question and then respond me in the chat box. Some students have responded me. I have recorded their answers. What about the other students? Fine. So majority of the students has given the perfect answer as it was expected from all the good students, that for the better performance of the refrigeration system, the refrigeration effect must be increased, so that the refrigerant can absorb more and more amount of the heat energy, and thus the space can be cooled effectively. The next most important type of the refrigeration parameter, that is the turn of refrigeration. The capacity of the refrigeration system is expressed in turns of refrigeration. A turn of refrigeration is defined as the refrigerating effect produced by the melting of 1 ton of ice from and at 0 degrees Celsius in 24 hours. Or the another definition tells that it is the amount of heat required to be removed in order to form 1 ton of ice at 0 degrees Celsius in 24 hours from water at 0 degrees Celsius temperature. So these are the two important definitions of the turn of refrigeration. Mathematically, 1 ton of refrigeration, that is equal to 210 kilojoule per minute, or that is equal to 3.5 kilowatt. Dear students, let me ask you, 1 ton is equal to dash kg. 1 ton is equal to how much kg? Very good. So that is 1000 kg. 1 ton is equal to 1000 kg. So this is the concept of turn of refrigeration. Let us proceed further and now understand the concept of coefficient of performance. Again, one of the most important parameter related to the refrigeration. Coefficient of performance is also known as COP. The performance of the refrigeration system is always expressed in terms of COP. The coefficient of performance is defined as the ratio of the refrigerating effect to the work required to compress the refrigerant in the compressor. Mathematically, according to the definition, we can write down COP is equal to refrigerating effect, which is considered in kilowatt, divided by the compressor work, which is also considered in kilowatt. Remember friends, the value of COP is always greater than unity, because we have already understood the refrigerator is the reverse of the heat engine. So friends, with this, I am concluding this session from my side. Thanks for watching the today's session. Have a nice day. Now, if you are having any questions from your side, you are free to ask me in the chat box. Any student is having any question related to the topics discussed, you can ask me. Fine. So some of the students are giving me the confirmation that they have perfectly understood.